Let's dive into Luna's training so we can stay consistent at home. Whenever she's doing behaviors that we want to keep seeing, whether that's doing our commands or she's just showing us calm behaviors, we can reinforce and reward that with either praise, petting, or treats. And then when she's doing things that we don't want to see, whether that's leaning up against us or she's not following our commands, we're going to follow through with our training equipment so we can decrease those unwanted behaviors. So let's go over Luna's training equipment. This is her prong collar. She's going to wear this whenever she is on a leash. How we take this on and off is we're going to secure one of the links and push the other link through like so. To put it back together, we have to pinch this prong and put it through the holes of the other prong. Then when she's wearing this, the leash is going to attach to this D-ring that swivels. How we use this, say she's in the heel command. Heel is that nice loose leash walking on the left side. Say she starts to pull ahead or does something that we don't want to see, we're going to say no, marking an incorrect behavior that we don't want to see, follow through with a pop of the leash, and then we remind her heel. So no, follow through, and then heel. And then of course, when she gets back into that position where we want her, we can give her that verbal praise, petting, and treats to reinforce and reward the behavior we want to keep seeing. Then with the remote collar, how we turn this on and off, there's going to be a red dot on both the collar and the remote. We're going to touch these together. That green light flashing means that the collar is on and ready to go. On and off button on the back of the remote. We're going to push and hold until the screen lights up. You're going to see level 25 appear on the screen. This is Luna's working level. And then today we are going to focus on the black S button. S just stands for stimulation, so it's kind of like an electric muscle stimulator. How we use this, say she's in the heel position again and she starts to pull ahead. We're going to say no, marking an incorrect behavior, black S button, heel, no, button, heel. Then when she gets back, praise, petting, and treats to reward her. Then with the distractions that we have, we may use one of these, we may use both of these. It depends on the situation that we are in with Luna. With the remote collar, it's going to be the first thing that we put on her, and then it's going to be the last thing that we take off on her at night. So we always have a form of communication throughout the day with her. With the prong collar, she will wear this whenever she's on a leash. So in the beginning, she may have the leash and prong on in the house just to introduce the new commands and new boundaries inside the house, and we can slowly fade away from where we don't need the leash and prong on in the house. So now that we've gone over her equipment, let's go over her commands. We've already touched on the heel. So about 80 to 90% of our walks should be in the heel position. The other 10 to 20%, we can give her release word free. Free means she's not in any set command, and that's going to be her time to go do her thing and do her own business and stuff like that. Rather than her following us, we're going to follow her when she is in the free. Now we have sit. Sit means stay is implied until she's given the release word free. This is really good for whenever we're doing those door manners. So when we're approaching a door, whether it's inside or outside, we're going to have Luna sit. Sit means stay is implied, so as we're opening the door, if Luna gets up, we're going to follow through with the training equipment, get her back into the sit, and then we're going to do it again until she gets it right. We want to set the same boundaries that we have here at the facility at home, so that way when we ask her to sit on the first time, she does it and she follows through with the stay. Now we have down. Down also means stay as implied as well. With this, we don't want to walk 10 feet away from Luna and then call her to us while she's in her down stay, because then she will get rewarded for coming to us and not staying in the down stay. So with all of her stay commands, whether it's down, sit, or place, we are always going to go back to her and release her from where she is, so she always gets rewarded for staying in the stay portion of it. So when we're practicing the down, we're going to do whatever distraction we want to do, whatever's going on. We're going to go back to Luna, reward her as low to the ground as possible so she knows where that positive zone is when she's in the down. And then we're going to release her from where she's at so she gets rewarded for staying in the down stay. Say she gets up and she walks over to us. What we're going to do is we're going to go back and put her where she was, so that way we can do whatever distraction we were doing and she knows that she's supposed to stay even though we're doing bigger distractions out away from her. Now we have place. Place is a boundary stay, ideally on an elevated bed. This one's really good for whenever we're having guests coming over or if we're eating dinner and we don't want Luna at the table. So when we're practicing this one, I would suggest having the leash and prong on in the house so we can guide her back to the place bed if she gets up. So with this one as well, still no calling her to us whenever she's on place. We can do whatever distraction we have people come over. We're going to go back to Luna and release her from where she is. And we're going to reward on the place bed so she knows where that positive zone is. Say she gets up and she goes and greets our guests. What we're going to do is we're just going to guide her back to the bed, have the guests come over again, have them come through the door, and then we can go back to her and reward her for staying, even though big distractions are happening. Now we have come when called. When practicing this one, I would suggest having a 30 to 50 foot leash on her, so if she gets extra distracted, we have a way to reel her back in like a fish if we need to. So when we're practicing this one, we're going to give her that release word free. let her go get distracted, because ideally when we need her to come back to us, it's going to be when she's in that distracted state of mind doing her own thing. So let her get distracted. When we want to call her to us, we're going to say come, nice, loud, and firm. As she's coming to us, we're going to praise her to let her know that coming into our space is what we are asking, and it makes it a lot of fun for her. Backing up just a little bit to invite her into our space, have her sit, and then we can give her the reward. When we're practicing this, we're always going to reward, so she knows that the positive zone is coming into our space. This is going to start building up a reward history, which is just rewarding for a command every single time, so she knows when we call her to us, she is always going to get a reward from us. Say we call her and she doesn't respond, or she's too distracted, not paying attention to us. What we're going to do is we're going to say no, marking the incorrect behavior of not coming into our space, follow through with the training equipment, and then we're going to call her again. And then we're going to go right back into praising, because just because she made a mistake out there does not mean we're not going to be the positive zone. So once she gets into our space again, we are still going to reward, because we are always the positive. Now we have leave it. Leave it just means don't grab that. When you're practicing this one, I suggest starting out with dog safe boots, just in case she does pick it up off the ground. So when you're practicing this one, leash and prong on, just in case we got to guide her into different scenarios. Drop something on the ground, say leave it. If she does, great. If not, follow through with the training equipment until she gets it right, so we can set those same boundaries of not picking up food or whatever we drop on the ground at home. Now that is all of Luna's commands. So with her, we're going to stay nice and positive whenever she's doing things that we want to keep seeing, whether that's taking her out in public and she does really great, or if she's at home and she's just following the commands that we want her. And then with the behaviors that we don't want to keep seeing, whether that's leaning up on us or she's trying to jump on us, we're going to follow through with the training equipment, so that way we can decrease those unwanted behaviors. So we're going to have fun, stay consistent, and now we're going to watch Luna do all of her commands. Yeah. Sit. Girl. Sit. Good. Sit. Good. Good. Sit, Luna. Good girl. Nope. Sit. Heel. Heel.
Morning, girls.
Morning.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, man.
Heel. 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 Sit. Sit. Down. Good girl. Good down. Down. Good down. Down. Good girl. Down. Good. Down, Luna. Down. Girl. Good down, Luna. And this. No. Okay. Good girl. Free. Good girl, Luna. Place. Good girl. Place. Good. Place, Luna. Place. Place. Good. Place. 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 Girl. Place. Good girl. Good place. Girl. Free. Good job. Good girl. Let's go over the other features of the remote. We've already gone over how to turn it on. Now let's go over how to turn it off. Same concept as turning it on, both the remote and collar turn off separately. So red dots on both the collar and the remote. Touch these together. That red light means the collar itself is off. On and off button on the back of the remote. We are going to push and hold until the screen goes blank. Then I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on, and we're going to go over the other buttons that are on the remote. So we've already gone over the black S button. That is going to be the number that you see on the screen. Say you notice that level 25 isn't working for Luna, whether it's too high, she's having too much of a reaction, or you notice she's not responding to it at all. What we can do is push down on this dial until that 1D at the top of the screen starts flashing, and then we can rotate this to whatever number we think is going to work for Luna. Right now, level 25 has been working for Luna, so what I'm going to do to lock that in place is hold down on the dial once I have it on 25, so that way when we put it in our pocket, we can't accidentally change it. Now we have this red S button. What this does is this going to jump her level, whatever level we have on the screen, 20 levels, so it's going to go from 25 to 45. This is a boost feature, so say Luna gets out or she's chasing a car, she's doing something dangerous that's going to cause her harm. What we can do is have an instant way to communicate with her, which is going to be the red S button. So whenever we're normally working with her, she is right here. When she's doing something dangerous, like chasing a car for say, she is up here. So now we have an instant way to communicate with her when she's doing something dangerous. So the red S is going to be for emergency cases only, when she's not responding to us and she's doing something dangerous. On the other side of the remote, we have a T button. This is a vibrate feature. We like to use this to make sure that the collar is on and ready to go, but when Luna gets a little bit older and she's further into her training, we can use that kind of like a little warning, like she's not needing stimulation, but we just need to give her a little warning that she's about to cross a boundary. And then in the box, what we have is she does come with extra prongs. These prongs are going to be longer, so it's for those longer haired dogs. Luna doesn't have too long of hair, so you shouldn't have to use these, but it does come with them. It also comes with a dual charger. Both the remote and collar are rechargeable. They stay charged for about 2 days if she wears them for 12 to 14 hour days. The charging port on the remote is right underneath the on and off button. And then the charging port for the collar is in between the prongs. And it does come with that dual charger, so you can charge them both at the same time. At the bottom of the box, we have the manual. So If you have any more questions about the remote or anything like that, or you're just a person that likes to read manuals, absolutely you are more than welcome to. Then there is another feature on the remote. So if you take Luna out at night and you want to see her, what we can do rather than turning the collar on and off with the on and off button, rather than pushing and hold, we can press it. Pressing the on and off button is a flashing light. Press it twice, solid flashlight. Third time turns it off. There's also another button on the back of the remote, the M/C button. This stands for momentary or continuous. In the beginning, we started out at a very low level on continuous to introduce the remote in a positive way. And then when she gets further into her training, we move it up just a little bit onto momentary, so she should stay on momentary the rest of her training. Both the remote and collar are waterproof, so if they get wet, not too big of a deal. But if Luna's going to stay wet for an extended period of time, I would rotate the collar on her neck so that way the prongs aren't rubbing one side of her neck and getting it irritated. That is all of the other features of the remote. So just like in the beginning, we're going to have fun, stay consistent, and that's everything.